All right. I was waiting for that noise on Rob's phone, but I guess we're live. That's right. Everyone, welcome to Masculine Geek number 65. We're getting up there. We're getting that much closer to 100. Not that that means anything, but it's still kind of cool. So, Masculine Geek number 65, Wednesday, one of the best days of the week. Welcome, everyone in the chat. Bull Rush, The Gunt, Dan Aykroyd rules. Wow. Maybe
Nictubus, Red Crusader.
Everybody's here, yep. Damn boomers can't even start on time.
Aaron's not here, so
this is true. This is true. And we have some news to impart. We are rescheduling our Village by the Lake until after all this bullshit has passed and things open up. So you'll be looking for us out in Salt Lake City in either mid to late September. We're not going to go into big detail. That's all you need to know. There we go. All right. So
Cameron.
Hey, Cameron.
Vince's girlfriend told me he couldn't go, so he said, okay.
What's your excuse then, TJ?
Yeah.
I was all ready to go, and you're like, oh, I can't. The girlfriend told me I can't go.
You're confusing me with Aaron. And there's one key word there that is actually very wrong.
Girlfriend, because you're not friends with those girls.
No, you do not. Men are not friends with women. Get that through your fucking heads. That's an episode for another day. So, So what's moving forward? TJ has some really good news.
Yeah, I got a book coming out.
Yep.
So I will actually pull up the cover for it. 1 second. So how do we do share screen?
You share the screen, and then I just give it access.
Your entire screen. It doesn't allow me to do that.
Well, you should be able to pick like tab or application or...
Oh, application window. Here we go.
The application window. You already answered your own question, Red.
Yeah, it was kind of redundant.
There you go. That's pretty badass.
Hell
yeah. So the enchantments are an actual location where we live. That is an actual. The landscape in the background is all an exact replica of what it actually looks like.
All right, that's funny.
So, it's actually so that's Jack Napier did the audio recording for the book, and it's written in kind of an old style poem, like not poetry, like
the prose Edda from Norse mythology.
Yeah, like prose Edda or something like that. So, yeah,
it's a prose Edda, see?
Yeah, so I was hiking up there a couple years ago, and there was a peak called Dragon Tail Peak that I hiked, and I was sitting up on.
You got some cool names out there in the Pacific.
Oh, dude, the pass that you go up into the enchantments is called Asgard Pass.
Oh, that's really cool. Who named all those places?
Some guys who loved Norse mythology, but there's also a lot of Arthurian names as well. There's Germanic and Arthurian, but they just looked at it and looked like something out of a Tolkien novel, so they started calling it by these different names. Its technical name is Kolchak Pass, but nobody calls it that because nobody wants to hike up Kolchak Pass. They want to hike up Asgard Pass, right?
Absolutely.
So the book incorporates the names of all these different landscape geographical locations into the book. So they retain the name. I tried to come up with origin stories for the different names. So, yeah.
Cool. How long is it?
So it's I'd say it's about 80 pages. It's not a very long book. But it's written in a poem style, so it's a little bit different to read. If you're more audio inclined, I really recommend you get, when I release it, the audio book version by Jack Napier. He did a fantastic job. Everybody who's listened to it has told me he did a great job. So really highly recommend it.
Okay, cool.
So
excellent. Fantastic. What's up, Sass? Thanks again, Bacon.
Oh, somebody asked what the story is about.
Yeah, like, oh, and he dropped. We can't tell you what it's about. If we tell you, you'll die too. So you're just gonna have to get the book and read it.
It's
It's kind of like The Ring, only this one's the book.
That's right. Yeah, he was about to talk about it, and so it fucking swallowed him up.
All right.
How happened to you?
I accidentally clicked close the tab.
We thought something had wandered out from Asgard Pass and didn't want you.
I know, seriously. I was going. Well, no, it's like you usually freeze and cut out, so I figured it had to be my turn this time. Anyways, someone was asking what the book is about. The book is, I consider it a spiritual sequel to Beowulf. So if you read the Beowulf story, or you listened to a reading of it by Seamus Heaney, who was one of the guys who translated it, I loved his version of that. You can listen to it on YouTube for free. But it's about a Germanic tribe called the Helvetii that are, kind of, imagine it takes place after the Beowulf poem, and you'll kind of get the gist of it. What happens after that, except it doesn't involve anything from Beowulf. But I tried to write it as though it was the same author, same setting, same kind of circumstances. So yeah, I've been encouraged by the response I've gotten so far.
Cool. The Helvetii. In Celts.
Them Celts, yeah.
Something like that.
Except I think the Helvetii were. I should know this.
Helvetica.
Well, so that was.
I was thinking of the font.
Yeah. Right.
Dude, I'm doing that with one of mine.
You should totally do that. That's pretty funny.
I'm gonna wear a whole, kind of like my Halloween mask, but I'll cut a hole in it for my cigar.
Oh, that's right. You had that, is that like a burlap bag kind of thing?
Yeah, I got that one, and then I also got that other Rorschach.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, weren't you ready to pass out at one point though?
I don't know. If I was, I think it's because I was boozing it up too much.
Jesus.
I know it wasn't the mask that was making me lightheaded. I think it was the booze that I kept flipping the mask up to drink out of.
Okay.
That's where I needed to cut a hole in it for the cigar hole and the beer hole.
Sucking up your own CO2.
Rob, you're usually an even-keeled, temperate, and God-fearing man.
Once in a while.
You have the right person?
It's TJ see me after I get out of mass and I get out of confessional. He knows.
Yeah. The priest walks out and he goes, I need to be cleansed. He's like, where's the holy water? And he just dumps the whole thing on top of himself.
It's like a bird bath. I get into it and just start washing.
Suck on that communion wafer.
Mm-hmm. Get on your knees, my son. Yes, Father, may I have another, please?
Oh my God.
That's right. That's right. They didn't mind so much when I was washing my face and hands in the holy water. It was when I took all my clothes off and climbed in like it was a bird bath and started getting my pits that they were like, that's a little bit uncalled for. But they didn't say it that way, but that's basically what they were saying.
Oh boy. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Bacon, dude. I had Karen come out and Karen me about not wearing a mask.
Oh, Aaron visited you?
Yeah, right. Karen Clary.
Clary.
No, I was at this one job and I got on the elevator and I got my tote and this gal comes on and she's wearing a fucking mask. And she's like, do you mind if I get on with you? I'm like, I don't care. I'm fine. So she gets on and we're going up. And she turns and she looks at me and she's like, so where is your mask? You should wear that so that you're protected. And I just looked at her and was like, I like living dangerously.
Left in your mom's house.
You should have just said, this is my true mask.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, I want to go back to that stop, and I know I will. This is a stop that I do fairly often, so I'll be back. And I want the Bane mask. So that I can walk in there and be like, the fire rises. How's this mask for you, bitch?
Oh, if we have to wear masks, I'm totally getting the Bane mask. But I want one that does the actual voice too, right?
Mm.
And then I can just say, I can just start yelling at people.
Oh man, fucking guys in the chat.
And then
That's pretty feisty tonight.
Randy would be the word.
Well, that would be if they were all fucking each other.
So I do want to have a geek moment.
Right.
A geek moment on Masculine Geek. I've been playing Stratego online.
Oh yeah.
Right. So I'm assuming you guys have played Stratego.
Yeah.
Once or twice.
One of the things I was noting with the strategy of the game, because I've played chess and I've played Stratego, one of the biggest differences is chess is an open game, meaning you know where all the pieces are and you know which pieces you're dealing with, right? So it's more of a strategy game as opposed to Stratego, where it's strategy, but it's also a level of deception, right?
Oh yeah, because you don't know what you're walking up against until you hit it.
Right. And I think that's actually a little bit more practical in a sense, because it's almost like playing poker, where you may have a piece that would easily be beat by the other. You know what the other piece is. Let's say it's like a 3 and you've got a 5, right? But you act as though it's like a lower, it's a piece that will take theirs, right?
Right.
And,
you act like it's a 1.
Right, because Sun Tzu in The Art of War was talking about how deception was so important in war, right? And so being able to fool someone into thinking that you have something that you don't. Chess, you really can't bluff, because it's like chess is for mathematicians and mathematically minded people, because they can deduce every single move. Stratego, but that's not how life works.
No.
Life always involves chance.
Life fucks you in the ass when you least expect it.
I mean, for those of us, Rob, who haven't been in prison, I guess that's one way of. But yeah, so that's one of the things I like about the game, is that it allows you to utilize other skills. Chess really doesn't allow you to do that. So that's why I like Stratego. If I was going to choose, I'd say Stratego over chess, because chess is just too open. You know where everything is. For example, D-Day, right? They came up with an entirely fake invasion army that was supposed to be led by Patton. They created fake radio traffic, fake tanks, fake troops, all this other stuff. So they thought the landing was going to be up north, closer to the English coast, but it ended up being at Normandy. But you can't. Chess doesn't allow you to engage in subterfuge or deception, right? So that's why very logical people are interested in that. People who are more psychological are going to prefer stuff like Stratego. They're going to prefer other games that allow you to hide stuff like you actually can in real life. Say, what the heck? Okay, so
Yeah, we got some assholes watching.
See?
Oh shit,
Rob, you need to tell your exes to lay off.
It's really strange, because even if I don't like something, I just don't watch it. Even if I continue to watch the whole thing, I don't ponder about it and go, "Yeah, I'm gonna downvote that because that's really gonna get them." It's the dumbest shit.
A dislike is really the same as a like. It all adds to the analytics. So who cares?
Unless it's a Gillette shaving commercial, then you can downvote it all you want.
Yeah,
you downvote that every time.
Well, yeah.
I don't even watch them. So
Razzles.
Oh god, whatever.
So Alec is asking, how does chess not allow you to hide stuff? Because you know where every single piece is on the board. So yeah, you can.
No, I get what you're saying, TJ. It's like
you can distract.
You can't hide the little bomb thing. It's
Well, like I'm saying, when you put a pawn forward in chess, there's no mistaking whether it's a pawn or whether it's a queen, right, or a knight, right? Now, chess does provide some important stuff to learn, like limitations of different pieces, right? The knight is one of the most effective pieces on the board because of the way it's able to move, right? I would more rather have the knight than some of the other pieces that like the queen's effective, but you know, the thing is, you know where the queen is at all times, right? So yeah. Why does Vince look like
that's the look I'm going for? It's spot on.
The women love it.
That's right.
It means I don't have to get out of bed because I make that much money.
Pretty much. Alec, we'll bring you on in a little bit, and you can argue like as face to face you can be on the show with TJ about Stratego versus chess. Okay. Fine points.
I get Alex's point, because what you do is you distract someone. Alcoholic. Yeah. That takes a lot of practice. A lot of practice, man. You got to work at that. Anyways, with Stratego or with chess, you can distract someone because they don't notice what else is going on the board, or they don't understand the different deductions, where they don't see how their actions in this move affects them later on, 5 steps ahead, right? That's why very logical people like chess, because there's no element of chance. There's no everything is known, right? Whereas with Stratego, you have no idea whether that piece that's not moved throughout the entire game is a bomb or a scout, right? The lowest ranking piece in Stratego. So if you're a really clever gamer for Stratego, you intentionally don't move certain pieces to create uncertainty. Well, okay, I'm gonna show you the link so that you can go play. I'm gonna go put it in the chat.
Don't invite Red. We'll start inviting people in a few minutes. Oh, fuck. When did you start playing Stratego, TJ? The online one.
Oh, that was probably a week ago.
Okay.
I used to play it with my friends all the time. It's a cool game because you get to that's another difference between chess and Stratego. Stratego, you can put the pieces wherever you want. In chess, they all start out in the same formation, right? But that's not how war works, right? Alexander the Great, there's that famous battle he fought against the Persian king Darius. He rearranged his forces so that they approached, and this is where the nerd comes out, in an oblique formation, right? So you look at the model that you see in front of you and you go, okay, we're going to do this instead of that. We're going to have the battle formation be different than what it would otherwise be, right? They show up with pikemen. Okay, we're going to pull our cavalry out and have them do something else. So, yeah. I feel like, we need a little geek moment, see? Speaking of which, we have this Howard Hughes clip. He talks just like a gangster. Howard Hughes.
Is that the committee hearing? The congressional hearing he was under?
Yeah, I want to make sure I get the right one. It's like, what's crazy is how well they did it. I'm going to put it in the private chat. Yeah, just people. Lord of the Rings, Stratego. Stratego's just cool, but when you can create a different motif or theme for it. Skip a bit, brother. Ian, skip a bit, Vince.
That statement as to my possessing a whip,
Yeah, just go to like where Howard Hughes is talking.
Member of Congress and the
questions, but I want to make it very clear these are not all of the questions I desire to ask Senator Brewster.
Yeah.
Furthermore, that controversy yet, I was assured that I would be allowed to cross-question through the committee. That is, that I could ask you questions and you in turn would ask them of Senator Brewster.
See?
Now, Senator Brewster's story, as related here yesterday, is a pack of lies.
See?
And I can tear it apart if allowed to cross-question him.
That's a
Fair
direct
to
from the
place
movie.
me in the position of having my integrity questioned and not being allowed to cross-examine Senator Brewster.
All right, you understood that, and the record is clear.
You are correct. He does sound like that.
And he also so that was the movie, The Aviator, which was a fantastic film. I love that film. It's such an anti-socialist film.
Mm.
There was that one scene where he's hanging out with Kate Hepburn's family, right? This really rich.
Oh yeah. The movie's really good.
Yeah, they're at this they live in a mansion. They like don't have to do anything, right? They're just lazy bums. And they're sitting there and somebody says something about money, and the wife, who's this, fill in the blank, she goes, "Oh, we don't care about money here." And he goes, "You don't care about money because you've always had it, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, "Some of us choose to work for a living." And I thought, what a contrast. Both families came from wealth, right? Howard Hughes was born to wealth, but instead of being lazy,
he wasn't a lazy piece of shit. He was a hard worker, yeah.
No, he used his wealth and his family's the position his family provided him to basically kickstart where he wanted to go in life. Because think about how much of his life he would have had to have spent to get to the point where he had the money to do the stuff he wanted to do. Right? Being a millionaire or having lots of wealth at that point, he had the resources to act on stuff like building the world's fastest plane. He made a movie called Hell's Angels, which was kind of a crappy film. I have the film. It's a weird film, but the cinematography, the dogfight in the movie is amazing because it's all like there are no fake planes. It's all real.
Yeah, they're all real.
And so he also made a movie called Scarface. I also have that film, the original Scarface. So yeah, Howard Hughes was a weird guy, had a lot of weird quirks, had some character flaws, but as far as being, an ambitious, not lazy, anti-socialist guy, can't hate him for that. Can't hate him.
True. True. What the hell?
Yeah, seriously.
What's that?
Oh.
What are you chuckling at?
Nothing.
Rah, see?
Nah.
You're nice to TJ. Rah.
Whoa, who's not being nice?
I don't know. Apparently Alec. I missed the comment. You have to go up in the chat and take a look. Rah. So how you guys holding up? Good?
Oh, yeah.
Looking forward to the time off, right, Rob?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm empowering him. You feel empowered, TJ? No?
Not sure, because when I hear the word empowered in the Pacific Northwest, I think of a different term.
Yeah.
I think of some fat bastard who's on welfare, getting a Medal of Honor for, getting out of his bed in the morning.
Yes, time off because we took time off because we were initially going to all be at the Village by the Lake, but we've rescheduled that. So we're still taking the time off.
Homeschool, I'm 100% sober, just for the record.
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking a local Chardonnay. Guys, I feel like for some of you guys, you got to understand my job. I have to listen to people. I have to listen to government meetings where people say things that 100 years ago we would have deported these people from the country, and yet these people are not only in the country but they are running the government. So, yeah, that's the. Like, I don't really know what else. Like, I'm listening to some of this stuff and I'm just thinking the appropriate response would have been, I don't know. My forefathers got to revolt over a tea tax. Like, I have to listen to communist, crap, and there's nothing you can do about it except write about it. Someone said we need to overthrow capitalism and implement a system that's killed millions of people. Yeah, seriously, bring back tar and feather. Yeah. Oh yeah. We need to bring back the whole shebang, right? We need to bring back public punishment, corporal punishment.
I think we should bring back the guillotine.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, technically, Americans never had to use that. We had more effective methods.
Well, as far as like someone actually using it.
Oh yeah.
Beheadings and public chastisement.
Yeah. So I'm curious about, since we were talking about Stratego, what board games, I guess let me rephrase the question. Board games were really popular in my neighborhood when the power went out during the winter. So if there was a windstorm or whatever, kids would gather at someone's house.
Hey, Drew.
Drew, what's going on? And we would all gather at someone's house and we'd bust out the board games. Stratego, Monopoly, Risk, and then later on Settlers of Catan. Yeah, seriously, Bull Rush.
Well, I don't want to waste the avgas on those assholes. They're lucky enough they're going to get a sharp blade.
Well, no. We chuck
a dull stick.
We chuck them out of a helicopter on our way to doing a Apocalypse Now raid on their homeland, or on where.
That's too much. I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
it sounds good. I mean, visually, I'm sure the people on the ground is going to enjoy seeing that, but we're not here for entertainment.
We are not here to entertain you people. By the way, also another thing to keep in mind, Vince, is gas prices. I mean, it's really expensive right now, right?
No.
I mean, dude, the price of we don't have to.
Nobody's fucking driving. I mean.
I know, but it's crazy. It's like it was trading at below zero. Like, you are getting paid to take the oil. It's like someone coming up to me and saying, "Will you take my firearms? I will pay you to take my guns." It's like, okay, I'm your Huckleberry. But anyways, the board game stuff. Like, what was popular board games?
I really enjoyed Dungeon. There was like a sort of like a D&D-ish type board game back in 79, I think it came out, 79 or 80. I'd have to look it up, but I have the original one. Still have it in storage. And then there was Electronic Dungeons and Dragons. I always wanted Dark Tower. Do you remember Dark Tower?
Dark Tower. Let me look it up.
There was a little plastic dark tower in the middle of a round. I think it was a round board. I almost want to say Orson Welles narrated the commercial, but I don't know if that's right. Let's take a look.
There was one game I had, and I completely forgot what it was called, but it was this game where you had this action figure type castle with all the different like soldiers and stuff like that and sieges, and there was one army that's besieging the castle and trying to get in.
It is Orson Welles.
Oh, interesting.
Hang on, I'll show you. It's pretty cool. Anytime I went to get it, it was always sold out.
Last night I journeyed backwards in time to the medieval world of Dark Tower. In this amazing game, I had to find 3 keys, lay siege to the tower, and defeat the enemy within. Each move was a challenge. The computer kept track, giving me secret information, pictures, sounds, surprises. Then, ahead of my opponent, I made my move. The battle was joined, and I was victorious. Dark Tower from MD Electronics.
Huh.
Yeah, that was always fun. And then let me see. What the fuck? On the original commercial for it. Oh yeah, 1975.
Yeah, Orson. Chess Rockwell.
Well, this is for the Dungeon board game. I'll share that one too. And this is the one I have.
There's always the trebuchet. Yeah.
I am Morley, the wizard, introducing you to adventure. It's Dungeon Fantasy Board Game. This family is on a challenging adventure in a scary dungeon, seeking treasure guarded by strange and wonderful monsters. Take it from Morley,
and
Dungeon and Dungeons and Dragons games from TSR play better. After all, we are wizards.
I found the game I was talking about. I just put it in the private chat. You can put it up. This is the cover of the game.
Cool. What the hell? Holy shit, George. Jesus Christ.
So what?
I'm going to share. All right, hang on a second. Let's go to yours first, TJ. What do you have here? What the fuck? All right. Go to. Oh, Weapons and Warrior. Oh, yeah, my brother and I had that. Actually, my brother we used to play this. This was pretty cool. Let me share that out.
Hot pocket.
Hot pocket. Have a hot pocket.
What do you mean? You hungry?
You hungry? There you go. Yeah, that was a cool game. They had there was a dragon and an ogre one that would the ogre would flip. They were called caroms.
Dude, I need to get that game.
Karens.
Caroms. They threw these little white women. No, carom.
And the women would go off into the air going, "Can I speak to the manager?" Okay, I gotta look.
That's Drew's board game corner in his house. That's pretty cool.
Oh, where? What?
Holy shit!
Whoa.
That's Drew. That is Drew Bay's board game corner in his house.
Drew. So when are you having us over?
Yeah, that's right. We talked about that we go out and visit him.
Hey, don't forget, Drew just put up the game of Karens.
The game of Karens. The game of speaking to the manager.
Holy crap. This is what kills me. So I had this game. I had a whole bunch of other stuff when I was a kid that people got rid of. Not going to name names. That stuff is now, it's like $100 to get it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude, these games are ridiculously expensive. There's one Hero Quest that I had. I gave it to a friend of mine and his son and his daughters to play. I never really played it all that much, but I picked it up from a hobby store back in the 90s. You can't find it now for under $500.
Damn.
Yeah, it's anywhere between $500 and $1,000 just for the basic set.
God, that really bothers me.
Blood Rage, huh?
Well, guys, all you in the chat.
I did share that. Where the fuck are you? Were you actually listening or are you watching? Because I just shared that already. Jesus Christ. I'll share it again.
He was grunting so loudly.
You what?
Never mind. Yeah, dude, they're all ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
You know,
it's expensive. See,
it's like when I was able to recover some of my old action figure sets and stuff like that.
just for you, Red. Take a look. Hurry up. Go look. Go look. Sorry, you're preparing. Preparing what? Jesus.
You're gonna jerk off or what? I'm preparing. I gotta lube up here.
Jesus Christ. I've got a couple of the like Call of Cthulhu type games, Mansions of Madness, and a few others. But I'll tell you, you have to you need a day just to prep the rules and learn the rules. And sometimes I don't have time for that. I just want to put out the board, put out all the paraphernalia, and just play the fucking game.
So there's actually one for sale, Weapons and Warriors, that's on sale for $50.
Oh yeah.
So I'm actually probably going to get that.
Yeah, pick it up. That's pretty cool.
You know, the sad thing is I never really got to play that with. I got to play that maybe a couple times with local friends, but you know, I think that I'm trying to move towards more kind of board game or tabletop games type stuff because people are they're such social retards now that I just want to take this phone and smash it with a hammer. Or take out a saw, or, you know, I got saws up there. I got hammers. Kind of make it happen.
There you go. Oh, wait. They made a Crawl the board game? Jesus. You have to tell Rollo about that. He was giving me... Here you go. He was giving me some shit about that on Twitter because I was like, that was a piece of shit movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty funny. That's pretty cool. Argonauts. I'm just looking at the 70s fantasy board games. Ghost Castle. The Key to the Kingdom.
Key to the Kingdom. That sounds like
oh, Payday. I remember Payday. Yeah, there's a lot of Berserk. It's based off of the arcade.
Yeah, Red Crusader, you're right. They're in the community. I live in a rural area, so that's, you know, kind of a first world problem, and my problem, but
oh, here it is. Crossbows and Catapults. That's the one my brother had. We used to play that all the time. Those are the ones with the caroms, not Karens, caroms. And they had little catapults and shit. Kind of cool. Interesting. All right, it's like it's a bit of a walk down amnesia lane. See?
Yeah. The dirty horror.
Wow. TJ is drunk.
No, I was.
You usually don't say whore until like at least an hour in. We're almost there.
It's part of my 12-step recovery program.
You're having injections and going to therapy, yes.
I mean, no, but can't wait. Oh, 1 second. I gotta stoke the fire really quick.
That's what you're calling it these days.
I knew you were gonna say that wrong.
Wow. What was your favorite board game growing up, Rob?
Oh, fuck.
Did you have a bunch of them, or did you just have one that was just like you would play all the time?
No, there was a few. Axis and Allies was fun, but man, that was a long fucker.
That you could spend like weekends, just
total, yeah,
right,
and days on that game.
Yep.
But that one was fun. I actually kind of liked Battleship.
Okay.
Just for you know.
I didn't like the electronic one. I like
no. This is the one that you fold it open and fucking go. Yeah, I didn't care for electronic Battleship. I didn't need to hear the little bomb shit going off.
No.
Of course, Monopoly, although that usually would end up starting a fight. Somebody'd get their feelings hurt, and then somebody would get hurt. So
flipping the table.
Oh, dude, no, we're talking like bloody noses and shit. Like,
I remember that story you told a long time ago. about the fight. Didn't you have a fight and you had to someone, or am I thinking about someone else told that story? I thought it was you.
Could have been.
I thought like a friend, like you and a friend got into a fight over a board game, and someone's dad had to break it up or something.
No. That me and a friend, you definitely got it backwards. No, me and a friend we were playing fucking Cyberpunk.
Oh, okay.
And we were okay. His dad came home fucking just wrecked.
That's it.
Could barely fucking talk. That's how drunk he was. And his dad started giving him fucking lip. And he ended up fucking going at him, and his dad went at it. And he had to like pin his dad down like in a full Nelson chokehold type of thing get him to chill the fuck out.
You guys are just you guys are actually behaving, trying to hang out, play some Cyberpunk.
Yeah, we were just, hanging out. Dad came home from a serious night of drinking, and initially he was okay, but you know how it is. He comes home and he can barely fucking talk, can't understand what he's saying, but his kid understood him. And he was really good to his dad. He's just like, yeah, Dad, no, we're good. Thanks. And because Dad was offering to make us something in the kitchen. He was like, want me to cook you something up? But it was more like, hey, I mean, huh? It was something like that is kind of how he said it. Cause I had no idea what the fuck he said.
Jesus.
And then next thing I know, you can hear his dad rattling around in the kitchen, fucking getting frying pans out and shit. Well, then he comes back out in the living room and all of a sudden it's like, he has an attitude. And he's just, you lazy son of a bitch. And it's like, whoa, what just happened here? Dad basically blacked out and just went off. And it turned into a full-fledged fucking fight between him and his dad. He damn near had to choke the old man out to get him to chill out. It was crazy.
Holy shit.
Wow.
That is crazy. And TJ, if you change a letter in the name on your shirt, you get Carrington.
You actually get Karen Tan.
Karen Tan.
Karen doesn't get a tan because she's always inside the store talking to the manager.
Yeah.
See?
Aw, we'll bring some people on after the hour mark. Everyone's asked. And please, everyone, I beg of thee, make sure you test your internet connections. Otherwise, I'm dumping your ass out.
Yeah, your ass is getting dumped, see?
We're going to throw you out to the wolves, see?
Yeah, deal with your
Damn.
Yeah, you dirty whore.
Oh, it's twice. Wow, okay.
It's going to be one of them nights, yeah.
That's right.
Pretty much.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, well.
If you want to talk about a game that would end friendships, Diplomacy.
That's a funny name for a game that's going to end friendships.
Right, but it's a World War I game.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh, so you played it. So I cannot tell you how much distrust that fostered between me and my friends afterwards. It's like, I'll never trust you again. We're like 9-10 years old. And, one of your friends is just convincing you that they're on your side, and then they totally backstab you. And you're like, wow, I never knew you until now.
Ah, you dirty bitch.
Borosh. Yeah, he's flexing his
extraordinary Karens. It's pretty good.
There's some movies for you. Karen Wars. Scar Karens.
Band of Karens.
The God Karen. That's right. Blade Karen 2020. Karen Runner.
Karen Runner?
Yeah.
For a few good Karens.
Yeah, there we go. For a few good Karens.
The good, the bad, and the Karen.
Karen Strikes Back.
Oh,
there we go.
There we go. Return of the Karen. Revenge of the Karen.
Jesus.
The Karen Menace.
Attack of the Karens.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Karen the 13th.
The Karen Sanction.
The Wrath of Karen. There it is.
Where Karens dare.
No Karens for old men. Yeah.
Nobody wants them.
Karen's heroes. Shit, no kidding.
Karen.
Yeah, instead of Con. Karen. Good Karen.
You're
Looking up at all of our movies, I was like, okay, which one have we not ripped off yet?
The Dark Karen.
The Karen Rises.
Oh shit.
Karen Begins.
There you go. Karen Begins. Yeah.
Good movie. Release the
Hi,
Karen.
Karen. Karen Club.
The Clash of the Karens.
Yeah.
Indeed, you're starting to scrape the bottom of the barrel now.
Ah.
Oh. Release the Karen.
Cowboy Karen.
Oh. Let's think about Aaron Clary.
Never say Karen. That's right. Never say Karen again. The Texas Karen Massacre. How about the chainsaw Texas Karen?
License to Karen.
Oh shit. Oh,
the world is not enough for Karen.
Karen is not enough. Yeah.
Karens are forever, unfortunately.
The Karen who loved me.
Live and let Karen.
Karen on Elm Street. There we go. The day after Karen. You've got Karen. Yeah. Oh, shit. Thanks, Juan.
A clockwork Karen.
Right.
2001 Karen.
Karen Sky. 2001 a Karen Odyssey.
2020 a Karen Odyssey.
That's right.
The color of Karen. Karen does Dallas. Now we're getting pornographic.
That's right.
Dude, where's my Karen? Weekend at Karen's.
I'm gonna bring some of you assholes in here.
Shit. Bring some of these Karens on, you see.
And what
sure you got a good connection. God damn it.
From Karen with love.
You're Karen only. A series of unfortunate Karens.
No country for old Karens instead of no Karens for old men. Oh shit. I love it. The Karen episode.
We'll probably get banned on this one. I'm surprised it hasn't happened already.
No shit. That's all right. A bunch of Karens disliked it, so we might as well make fun of them too.
There you go. Oh shit. That's funny. Revenge of the Karen.
Karen goes west. Karen, I shrunk the kids.
What's up, Alec?
How the fuck are you doing?
We are doing fucking well, you son of a bitch, you magnificent cunt, you.
Oh, great to hear. Great to hear. Glad to be here with all the good cunts.
That's right.
Can you hear me okay? Is my connection?
Oh, yeah.
Loud and clear.
Okay, perfect.
You better be coming in good. Aren't you a sound guy?
I was, yeah. It was my first
oh.
foray into university was sound engineering, yeah.
Cool.
Now, if this was Aaron's podcast, he'd be going, hey, guys, can you hear me? Can you hear me, guys? Hey, Jack, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hey, Doc Roden, can you hear me? Can you?
Oh,
I couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
Red, I gave you an invite. Check your fucking Jesus Christ. There you go.
Check your Karen.
Mercy.
Waylon
Yutani here. I'm going to tell you, we're going to send the aliens. We're going to kill you, see?
All right, turn that. Your mic is coming in pretty hot. You're going to kill our ears.
Okay.
You're going to kill our ears, Karen.
Better.
There you go.
Okay.
it
I
has
have
an
a
old-
question for Vince. Have you ever used like Propecia or anything in your hair? Because like you've got a full head of hair, man.
Thank you. It's just I wash it. I'll put in a little bit of sculpting paste every once in a while to keep it, not being too unruly because it's a huge fucking mess. So,
How old are you?
50.
50, and you're not going bald yet. That's pretty good.
No, not really. I mean, trust me, this shit's all coming off once the quarantine allows barbers and whatnot back to their proper posts. So
Yeah, just do the me and Rob solution.
there you go. Honestly, I think it would burn my clippers out on this hair. So I need industrial strength fucking barber shit. So yeah, but wow. So how you holding up, you guys?
I'm pretty good. Yeah, I'm working yet, so I mean, I'm a tired mofo.
Yeah, you and Rob.
Yeah, but
well, we're all of us. Right? How about you, Al? I want to speak for everybody. But if you're not working, but are you?
Not exactly. No, I'm actually a student. So fortunately I was already doing a lot of my papers remotely. So it hasn't really changed a lot. I'm out staying with family now, just so I can get the fuck out of the city. But yeah, just doing that.
Cool. All right. What's on your study agenda?
Oh, just shitload of assignments, man. I'm doing a really worthless degree, journalism degree. So.
No.
You're gonna anger Aaron Clary.
Well, no, it's I'm not really paying for it. So the good thing is I'm not going into massive debt. It's costing me about roughly 1,000 New Zealand dollars per year, so about $3,000 total, which is about $2,000 for the whole thing. So,
dude, that's nothing.
That's really good. Okay,
yeah.
So this was back in 2006. My annual tuition at my in-state university, so they have a discount if you're in-state, was around $4,000 a year, and that was back in 2006. Back in 2012, it was almost $10,000 for tuition. So, spending $3,000 on a journalism degree, that's nothing.
Yeah, well, our great socialist government, they recently made university education free for everybody. So they started that a couple of years ago. And it's only for new students. So if you're already a third-year student, fuck you got to pay. It was only for the new students that came through. So everyone was a bit pissed off about that. But yeah, it's people are very lucky to have that. So they should definitely take advantage of it. But don't waste it either.
Right. So what, just curious, what kind of, are you planning on becoming a reporter or journalist?
To be honest, man, if I go that route, I will definitely be looking at independent media, not working for someone. I'll be looking at doing stuff myself. So
yeah.
I'm particularly interested in conflict journalism. So traveling is something I would want to be doing as part of that. So
being like a war correspondent type of thing.
Maybe not on the front lines, but certainly interested in the whole, even just things like geopolitics, international relations, all that kind of thing.
Well, you've got the voice for it, and if Vice hadn't become what they have become, I mean, that would have been an awesome chance to do. I'm talking about Vice TV.
Yep.
The guys on
YouTube.
Yeah.
They
used to have some really neat stuff.
Sorry, go ahead, man. It's a bit of a delay.
Yeah. They used to have some really good stuff, but now they're on mainland TV and they just like talk about weed shit. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Have you guys heard of John, I think it's Hanrahan is his last name?
No. Who's that?
So he's this guy worth checking out. I might see if he's got like a little preview you can put up or something. But he used to be a Vice, a reporter for Vice, and he ended up quitting the organization and basically telling them to go fuck themselves. And he started his own podcast. It's called Popular Front, and he actually travels around to these conflict zones and hangs out with Kurdish fighters and then Hong Kong protesters, etc. He just kind of goes everywhere and gets into all this really interesting nitty gritty sort of stuff that's going on in these conflicts that you don't really hear about otherwise. So
yeah, if you can find something, I'll throw it up.
He's got like a little show reel type thing. It's quite cool if people are into that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be back when Vice actually aired that stuff, but priorities change when you get money.
Exactly, man.
That's true.
No, they did the whole. You guys remember those ghost shows that used to be on? I think it was like Discovery, where they would never actually find the ghost, and they're just looking around. They're like, "Oh, what was that?" And then there's just fucking nothing.
Discovery America.
Yeah.
Yes, the
Vice
best
became that for their conflict stuff. They'd be like, "Oh, we heard some gunshots. We better run." It's just like a shaky camera, and that was like that.
Oh my God, yeah, I loved Destination America. It had all kinds of like these awful, indulgent kind of dumb shows. Like there was this one where these people from Alaska are like hunting creatures, and at one point they're hunting the Mothman, and like I can't tell if they're joking or not. But at one point they're acting like this thing's real, but the CGI Mothman comes down on their car, and this is like television, right? It's CGI as hell, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's real, it's coming." And I'm like, oh my God. And then I think there was something about one of them being possessed by a ghost of a Bigfoot and attacking them at one point.
A ghost of a Bigfoot.
A ghost of a Bigfoot possesses one of them, and they try to trap the guy in a cage because that's one of their solutions. Trap the beast in the cage, whatever it is, but it always escapes at the last moment.
Christ.
God.
Now, do you want to work for someone else, or are you looking to just go out and be a citizen journalist, as it were? Just be on, like, make your own.
Yeah, man.
Schedule okay.
Yeah, like you don't really need to work for anyone else. Like it's fairly easy to build a website, monetize it, all that kind of thing. All you really need is the following, and then you can go from there. I don't see much point in having a middleman if you can help it,
Right.
I don't know. I know TJ. I think you work for an organization, don't you, as well as doing your own stuff?
Well, I work for a nonprofit, and I'm the only writer on the site right now. So, which is great because, I mean, I have as much, if not more, freedom than a person who's self-employed. But I don't have to deal with it in the United States because of our health insurance stuff. My business provides one. I don't have to pay for my the social security, health insurance, dental, vision stuff. That's all paid for through my job, right?
Okay.
So, but I also don't have to deal with any of the overhead stuff of running the business. So, I mean, if I was going to recommend anything to someone who's in journalism right now or thinking of going into it, I would say pick a small outlet where, I don't know. It's the problem is there's so many circumstances. I don't know what New Zealand's like. Its laws on because in the United States, if you don't have a job, health insurance is very expensive. It's like astronomical. Like
we pretty much have healthcare sorted. I don't actually plan on staying here permanently. I'll probably come back when I'm a bit older, but we're quite lucky. We have quite a lot of freedom here compared to the amount of sort of socialist policy we actually have. But it's a lot easier to manage that when you're a small country, I think.
Right.
Case in point, Northern Europe as well. It's a perfect example that they're all these highly capitalistic countries, but they have these big social programs as well. So,
yeah, and so that's one of the problems with the United States is because of something that happened in World War II. The IRS did this tax code thing, but our health insurance is very expensive. So, like for working a job, being self-employed, in our country, the 1099 stuff. being self-employed here might mean something completely different than being self-employed in New Zealand or elsewhere.
It's fairly similar. How we pay our healthcare is it's essentially it's a levy that employed people have to pay on top of their regular tax, but it's a very small amount. It's like a few percent, but it gets charged on top of your income, and your employer will pay it. If you're self-employed, you have to pay it. And it's relatively the same, but it also depends on what kind of industry you work in. So if you work in an industry that's likely to, fuck you up. So if you work in construction, you're probably going to pay a higher levy than someone who works in an office, because it's only accident cover. It doesn't cover any sort of elective or voluntary surgery or anything like that. It's only stuff that happens to you that's out of your control.
Right. So being, I guess, is so for me, the nice thing about my job is I cover policy, like concepts and ideas. I don't really cover like the whole human dynamic, like where it gets into the drama, I guess is that. I've written stories about that before, but I like writing about ideas more than I like writing about the gossipy stuff. Like when I see stories out there about how this person said this about this person on Twitter, it's like that's not news, That's like a lot of news today is just filler gossip stuff.
It's just fucking BuzzFeed, man. That's all it is, really.
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah. All right. So we had this up now, Alec. What is this again?
So that's I think Jake Hanrahan. So it's one of those lovely English last names, but yeah, he's this British guy. He just does conflict journalism on the ground. Like he goes to hectic places, and that's just a little showreel from his second year.
Okay,
it's Popular Front. It's really good. He doesn't have that many followers, but he puts out good content. He's got these super interesting podcasts. Yeah,
and let's do subscribe. Check his stuff out later. All right, let's listen in.
Right now we're here in Raqqa in Syria.
Oh shit.
Why are you protesting?
أنا بس جايين عن الحرب السورية.
ما بنفرقها ونقول هذا كردي وهذا عربي وهذا مسيحي، لا، قضيتنا جايين قضية.
I love you lot that much, and I just want everybody back home to know that, yeah, I'm definitely not a terrorist, and also subscribe to Popular Front or fuck off.
Yeah, mate. Thanks very much, man.
Wild.
So yeah, he just goes around and talks to all these interesting people. But he's had he's had these like kind of quirky guests on his podcast as well. That anything from people who studies the small arms trade in the Middle East to cyber warfare in the Ukraine, and etc. So
cool. No, you see yourself doing something like that?
Yeah, definitely. Maybe not so much of the micro stuff. I'm more into the macro sort of power moves that go on in the world. That's something I find really interesting, like looking at the motivations why various countries do things,
I've been trying to.
Fuck almighty, the fucking chat's live with Karen.
Karen
never
lives.
dies.
Hey, I already did Journey to the Center of Karen.
Someone's gonna watch this replay and watch a chat, and they're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
These guys are really fucking bored.
We're just going off on Karen. We're carrying on Karen. Oh my god, the Boondocks, Karen.
Karen, you can't.
That's right.
Karen never
dies.
I'm sorry. I just imagine like the Cruel cover, but it's just got Karen instead, and it's got like an ugly Karen on the front. Right.
Like one of those fucking I need to speak to a manager haircuts. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like ultra fat face, you know.
Oh
yeah. Karen's here will call you a dumb cunt. They'll be like, "Can I speak to the manager, you fucking dumb cunt?"
That's right.
The Karen supremacy. The never-ending Karen.
Unfortunately, that is true.
The Karen identity.
Jesus.
Blood Karen.
Fuck.
Jesus Christ. Karen CSI. Oh God.
Not evil Karen. Evil Karen. There is an evil Karen on Evil Dead.
Yeah.
It's the old woman. The old woman that. Yeah. Right. I'll swallow your soul.
I forgot about that.
There you go. There's your evil Karen.
It's where it starts.
Raiders of the
Fistful of Karens.
The Temple of Karen.
There you go.
Hail Karen.
Octa-Karen.
The good, the bad, and the Karen.
For your Karen only.
Yeah.
The Crystal Karen.
Oh God, that sounds like bad meth right there.
Yeah, right. Or good, depending upon your point of view.
Yeah. Oh God.
Pure Colombian Karen.
Hey,
there's your slang, you know, instead of talking about calling it yayo or calling it dust or snow or powder or shit or anything like that, just start calling all your dope Karen. That way when the federales are listening in, they're like, we don't know if he's talking about drugs or if he's talking about some chick who wants to see the manager.
We need to move the Karens.
You only live Karen. On Karen's Secret Service. Dr. Karen from Russia with a Karen.
Doctor Strange Karen.
There you go.
Another movie Aaron Clary has not seen.
He starred in it. No, but he watched it. Remember, he got all pissed off when he was drunk, calling us up and yelling because he wasted 2.5 hours of his life.
What?
Aaron Clary, we had him watch Doctor Strangelove. Okay, I bought it for him and brought it down to Village by the Sea last year and gave it to him.
Yeah,
he watched it and then proceeded to get drunk and call me at 2 a.m.
And me and the great one himself
and berate us for a horrible movie recommendation of 2.5 hours of his life he would never get back.
What the hell is this? It said they didn't say anything about the GDP.
It's pretty close.
If it was me, I would have just texted you like, that movie sucked, lol. That would be
Not Aaron, though. No, he's got
that movie sucked, you dirty cunts, and that would have been fine.
By the way, talking about him, he put out a video here recently, and he had to like review this literal Karen. I had to laugh because like he kept saying throughout the video, "I hate you, I hate you, whoever made me do this request." Oh, it was great.
It's weird to think that he's like a fully fledged Latin dancer, and he has that attitude to life, and meanwhile he's fucking salsa dancing.
I know, right?
Ballroom dancing. But yeah, it's You know, we might have to demand proof. Pics, videos, or didn't happen on the dancing
He's
skills.
walking around with the gay hand. That's all we see.
Yeah, seriously. You know?
Doesn't he have a Colombian missus?
No.
Where's this girl from? She Brazilian? She's Latin, right? Mexican?
You're thinking of that chick he has on every once in a while. That's different.
I think you're thinking about MJ.
I mean, it's easy to get that confused. But
So where's this girl from? Is she from the US? Or?
She is, but he wants to keep that part of his life private, so we honor that.
Oh, fair enough.
Kind of like his
no doxing here.
Kind of like his homosexuality. We like to keep it under.
Hey, I don't know. He talks about that one friend of his that's down in the basement, the troll.
You know,
that's clearly code.
You kind of know how Dr. Strangelove does like the Nazi salute just automatically. Kind of like that's what Aaron does with the gay hand. Like he can't help himself. He's just like, you know.
Yeah.
Now, all I can think of, I don't know if you guys have ever seen, you guys know Ministry, right?
Yeah.
There's the one music video from the Land of Rape and Honey, and there's this dude when they do the chant that he's sitting there, he throws up the sign and then he like sucks his thumb. That's the gay hand. How about that?
Chat tonight is one of the best ever.
It's hard to follow all the.
I know. Watching this is beautiful.
You know the
I'm not
best
in
name
there
for a
to
Karen
make it
film,
spicy.
right? The best name for a Karen film. I don't know if it's been said yet, but can you guys guess what it is?
I don't know.
It's Mad Karen.
Mad Karen.
Mad Karen. Is it a Mad Max?
It's obvious, man.
Yeah.
She's always fucking mad.
They do go together.
I'll lose your Karen in 10 days.
Dude, where's my Karen?
Dude,
what does your tattoo say? Karen. What does yours
Mad
say? Karen.
Fury Road.
There you go. It's definitely Fury Road down there.
The road Karen. Road Karen.
The road Karen. You just imagine this truck with like shaped like a Karen's head with the fucking hairdo and shit with like gunners on the back.
I still think my favorite one so far is No Karens for Old Men.
Oh yeah,
No
that's a good
Country for Old Karens. Those two I think are my personal favorites right now.
I just wanted to bring it back to you guys were talking before about board games and what you grew up playing. Now, I definitely grew up playing board games, but I was born in 91, so I kind of grew up with video games, which is
Jesus Christ
weird for you guys, but I grew up with Age of Empires, man. That was my shit.
Amos Josie.
Age of Empires. Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, my first game was Pokemon Yellow. My mom got that for me. That was the best ever. Like that was my first video game that I ever owned.
What year were you born, Red?
93.
Oh fuck, you're younger than me. Oh my god, I'm
young
91,
boy.
dude.
You
Wow.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, you're a bunch of
Witness my young. There you go.
Did you scratch your tits?
What a weird cunt.
Oh, thank you.
Red Crusader. What can you say about Red Crusader? He's a weird cunt.
Weird cunt.
How old is he? How old are you, sir?
I'm 27.
Oh, wait, which month?
January.
What day? What's your address?
Ooh,
Social
okay, so
security.
I'm not quite the oldest.
You want my social security and my ever-living
Your social security number.
What about you, Amos?
Have you been
no,
vaccinated?
September of 91, so you're a little younger than me.
Oh fuck, you're 2 months. How I was born December 91. So
You fucking dickheads.
Officially youngest on the stream.
That's nothing to be proud of here.
dude, we missed out on the 80s, man. Don't.
Yes, you did.
Yo, you totally missed out on the 80s.
Talking about the 80s.
Ever.
Check out what I got on the table here.
He's got a cassette tape.
Nice.
Yeah. What does it say?
You're not allowed to
Oh,
officially.
no, because it's all fucking blurry because it's too
I can't say
close.
shit, dude.
Or say Karen.
It's
something like
Warrant.
Karen.
Warrant. Dirty, rotten, filthy, stinky, rich.
You're not let you.
Oh, dirty, rotten, stinky, filthy Karens. Okay, gotcha.
There you go.
You're not old enough to have that. Put that away.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I'm young enough to say that I enjoyed the Star Wars
is older
prequel.
than you. Jesus.
Yes, it is.
The Walkman.
I do not.
I'll repeat myself because I was just talking over everybody, but I'm young enough to say that I enjoyed the Star Wars prequels when they came out.
I can't say that. I got those stupid modern films. Yuck.
I was like 7, man. I was like, fuck yeah, Qui-Gon Jinn.
I got T-shirts that are older than you. Yeah.
You probably got stains on those shirts that are older than me. Particular stains, if you know what I mean.
Sass is like what, 90 or some shit?
Sass, he's definitely.
He's an old puppy.
Yeah, he's definitely an
You
old.
just got Sass.
He's an old grizzled vet.
Question: did any of you guys watch? Maybe not Alec, but did any of you guys watch Recess?
Yeah.
Oh
no,
yeah,
I was
on
in
and off.
Recess. No, I didn't watch it. I was in it.
Dude, we were raised
we
on
have
American TV, man.
Oh, dude, was that not an awesome kids show?
The cartoon, right?
Yeah. With TJ Rottweiler.
I'll do you one better. I watch it in a different language.
That works, you know. Same dynamics, different language.
Which language, Amos?
Chinese. So I grew up in Taiwan.
Oh shit!
Interesting. Yeah.
Filthy Republican. Just give up, man. They won.
No, I don't know. I was watching some of those episodes and they're so funny. God, there's so many like old World War II movie references in Recess because the whole motif is like it's a prisoner of war camp and we got to break out of it, right? So,
pretty much, if The Great Escape was a TV show with kids.
Yeah, something like that.
So here's one for you guys, including TJ. You might be young enough. Sorry, but it's Dragon Ball Z.
No of it, yeah. I never
Okay.
That shit fucking. That is the most hardcore shit that was on TV. Like it had full decapitations, mutilation. They would put their hand through the other guy's chest and like pull it out the other side.
Blood.
Parents would freak out watching that shit, man.
So I'm not gonna disagree, but I will say that there's a contender, and that's Mighty Max.
Yeah, too young for that.
Okay, Mighty Max.
What about Yu Yu Hakusho?
I'll say what?
What did you call him?
Yu Yu Hakusho. Oh,
yeah.
man.
Well, yeah.
Wasn't that on around the same time?
Never watched it, but I've heard of it.
Oh yeah, it's the same kind of corny, like hero's journey kind of thing, like Dragon Ball Z.
Well, look, tell me about Mighty Max though. I just googled it and it came out in '93, so I was at my prime age of 2.
The year I was born.
Yeah. So Mighty Max was based off of this kind of toy, but the cartoon show I grew up watching, and it's really violent. It's also really disturbing. I had nightmares that I remember the nightmare to this day in graphic detail from some of the episodes. Like with vampires and werewolves and all that stuff. Like you're watching this at age 6, 7, you know, it's kind of terrifying where like you got to watch some of the episodes to really understand. But for a kid's show, you know, that it's pretty dark. I mean, it's kind of like with some of the Batman animated series. I mean, some of these TV shows in the early 90s for the you know, people say it was the height of political correctness. No, it wasn't.
Fuck no.
No.
Animated series, you had Mighty Max where people are getting bit by vampires and, you know, werewolves are getting, you know, burned alive. And you have, what was the other? I mean, you have a lot of adult, Animaniacs. You have so many like sexual jokes in that. in that cartoon.
TJ remembers.
I can't believe, you gotta watch.
The Lake Titicaca song. There you go.
No, my favorite is when they make they go to Oh, first of all, there's so many like sexual jokes with the nurse in every episode where she walks in, they're like, "Hello, nurse," and then they're making all these different comments. But yeah, Mighty Max was really dark for some of the stuff. Like, so I would say
it doesn't look like it from the photos I saw. It looks pretty cartoony, but I'll take your word for it.
You gotta watch some of the episodes. Don't watch it in the dark. Don't watch it at 6 at 2:30 in the morning. Don't do it. Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs.
Too late.
Now, all I can think of is the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, which I had you guys play that one time. Oh my God, I love that show. Hostelgado. I love that character. And Grim, he's like this weird Jamaican Grim Reaper for some reason. And,
oh yeah.
Yeah, oh my God, And then Mandy's like the brain, and Billy's just like an even worse version of Pinky.
Right.
But it really dark moments in that one too. But
yeah. No, Amos.
Yeah,
why don't you introduce yourself, Amos?
Yeah, so I'm the one that has the bad internet connection. No,
what
just
the
kidding.
fuck, man? Your fault.
So you're taking over Red's routine here. Okay.
No, you're fine tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I had to get some new stuff set up here, so we're good now. I'm in a small town of 3,000 people.
Oh, okay, that'll do it.
It's about my situation.
All sharing one fiber connection, apparently.
Exactly. It's funny. There's fiber in the town over, but not here.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I know Conk is in the chat, right? Yeah.
He's here.
He and I just started he and I and my co-host of my podcast and another guy from we're part of so Conk, myself, and this guy Bobby, we're part of Richard Cooper's group. Okay. We just started up like a religion and a red pill show.
Oh, that's
Religion Zero. Yeah. We're calling it Religion Zero because like if we wanted to do something like you guys, we would call it the Manly Nerd Podcast. No, just kidding.
Play on words.
I mean,
approximate names.
Yeah, there's Red Morning, Red Evening. I was like Red Ass Crack of Dawn. I don't know.
Just use a Hobbit word and go with Red 11s.
Ooh, Red Second Breakfast.
There you
Call
go.
it the Red Cunt Podcast.
But I do the podcast with my friend Brooke. He's Red Pill guy, but we've been doing our podcast for it's gonna be going on 3 years, I guess, in July.
Okay.
But talk about a lot of stuff. Try not to get too red pill at times because that kind of throws people off. So we'll like mix it in, get real stinky with it.
Throw up your details in the private chat, and I'll throw it up on the.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what I like about this stream, for the most part. I mean, you guys touch on it, but
yeah. Fundamentally,
not for nothing.
Not for nothing, you dirty whore. Aww.
Not for nothing, see?
Aww.
Man.
Aww.
I'm just waiting for Rob's cat. Meow.
Or Mowgli. Mowgli just pops up and is like, "Get out of here, you little bastard." What are you drinking, Vince?
Red wine. It's a Malbec.
Shock. I'm
shocked.
Shocked I am at the
Well, I finished my whiskey and Coke. I was drinking it out of a very fashionable screw cup that I had.
Have any of you guys been to South America?
Yes.
No.
Kind of. Nicaragua was the closest I got.
Nicaragua, dang.
Yeah, you want to
there, man.
You want to know the closest I've been to South America? Jose, that works at the egg factory in my town. Right.
That's
honestly, that's racist. But that's really how it is out here.
Bro, Brazil will blow your fucking mind. You'll wonder why you've been living in your country your entire life.
Mardi Gras?
I hear things.
Oh my god, it's just like tens everywhere. It's fucked.
The beaches. I heard.
Everywhere.
I had a buddy go before this fright, and he told me all kinds of fun stories. But he was not red pill, so he did not make the most of it. And I'm
Dude,
pissed.
I was wearing fucking Speedos on the beach, man, when you're in Rome. I was like, it was awesome. It was liberating.
On the nude beach?
No, I wouldn't be wearing anything on the nude beach.
I mean, I went to Thailand and Singapore. Downtown Bangkok in the red light district was pretty interesting, but I was a minister at the time, so I couldn't quite do anything.
Partake.
Exactly.
Christian minister.
Yeah, I was for about 4 years. So
oh shit.
I was in Thailand, and then I went to Singapore where it's legal. So I got to see there was a nice little street block where there was like hundreds of women lining up ready to take any passerbys.
Did you let them take you?
One of them tried to. One of them reached out and actually grabbed my arm, and I was among all my my missions team, and they were like, "Oh, we thought you were gonna go like evangelize to her," and I'm like, "Would you stop me if I went with her?" I go, "No." I'm like, so I was a little younger at the time.
We did a drive-by of some prostitutes in Brazil. The friends I was staying with, they just wanted to show me like what it looked like.
Mr. Harley, Mr. Harley.
Dude, prostitution here is legal. Like we
Wait,
have legal
wait.
prostitution.
You drove by them, or you did a drive-by?
I was gonna say, spelling and grammar counts here. We did a drive-by on some. Oh, so all right, Alex is a banger. We got you. All right.
In New Zealand, prostitution is completely legal, so we don't have street hookers. There's like one street in the entire country where we do have them, so it's super uncommon. It's like a novelty for me. So when I was there, they're like, they were talking about how there's areas where they just stand on the street and like show off their goods, and I was like, fuck, that sounds pretty crazy. And they're like, do you want to see? And I was like, hell yeah. So we just drove past and we were just looking at them, but they told me, don't smile at them, don't look at them, and don't laugh at them. I was like, why not laugh at them? They look pretty funny. And then they said, no, they'll fuck you up. Like the Brazilian prostitutes will fucking throw shit at you and like stiletto the car and shit like that.
Oi, gringo!
They're pretty mercenary. Shit.
Yeah, no, they don't take kindly to fun and games.
They got a crowd-funded sniper up in the top building.
Oh man. No, it's fucked though. Like they go fucking all out, man. They got like, you go to the shopping mall, there's just bitches in white dresses, like with cuts out on the sides and shit, full 12 inches, the whole fucking 9 yards. It's crazy.
Wow.
Now they just got the cleavage stiletto. Whoosh.
Oh my god. Probably do. Hey, caralho.
Cool. Now, how often do you run your podcast, Amos?
On Sundays, 11 o'clock Central Time. So 11 in the morning.
Nice.
And then Religion Zero is going to be at 1 o'clock Central Time. So it's like we get a little break, then we go right into that.
Okay. Throw that up in the link too.
Well, we're doing it just like Rule Zero does, where we switch between channels. So next week.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, the first one is up on Conk's channel.
So Amos, are you like a practicing Christian or an ex-practicing Christian, or how does that?
I mean, I guess practice makes perfect, but no, not practicing. No, I mean, practicing.
So I know there's plenty of red pill guys who are still practicing Christians in the sense that they don't have sex before marriage, etc. But they still.
Oh
get
yeah. No. I'm far beyond that. I mean, I'll still do a wedding, but that's about it. I could still perform ceremonies, even though
you can still do a wedding. No shit.
Yeah, I've done 2, and one of them ended in divorce. So
shitty track record.
50-50 shot with you.
Yeah.
It's as good as the public, right? I'm just a statistic. I mean, a statistic, pretty much. 50% of marriages end in divorce.
That's
so
actually standard, right?
That's why I asked.
Yeah.
Like a deviation.
Yeah. It's all your fault.
Marriage, what's that?
Hopefully, you'll never have to find out.
Nah.
Vince, I posted in the chat just a little video. I don't know if you want to chuck it on, but it's just like a little montage of some of the most brutal deaths in Dragon Ball Z. If you guys want an idea of what we grew up with at the age of 6 and 7 in the 90s.
Oh, I see this here. Dragon Ball Z thing.
It's like a hyper-masculine TV show, really. Dragon Ball Z.
But which one is it?
Modern Life. John was talking
compilation.
About, he was saying that Dragon Ball Z is very quite a.
How about the
cartoon?
Fuck yeah! What's that? Sorry, Red.
How about the Krillin death count?
Oh yeah, that definitely makes the video.
Like Krillin just.
It's interesting. You can kind of see like Goku and Vegeta are both alphas, but like Vegeta is more like he's more aware. Like you could say he's red pill aware, whereas Goku is like this almost a blue pill alpha.
Yeah. Goku is definitely blue pill alpha. Vegeta's
like,
straight fucking alpha.
He's got like plot armor and everything. He just fucking destroys everyone.
But he's still he still runs Dread Game like a savage, every time
going training again.
He's trying to get him to stay home. He's like, fuck.
I'm going
Yam
training.
should die.
Yeah.
There he goes.
I'm gonna go to another planet and fight some aliens. Fuck you.
I'm dead. I guess I'm not coming back. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fucking Vegeta, man. What a savage.
Have you guys ever watched Dragon Ball Z Abridged?
Oh,
well, that's why I referenced the death count.
There's the that one where he blew him up, and it's like, I'm gonna blow my load all over your insides, and he blows him up. Oh yeah, that was pretty.
Yeah, I forgot he loses his hand on that one.
Well, see, in the original anime, they would show all this, but like they kind of made it like less bloody when it was showing in America.
Oh, we got the full blood, man. I grew up with kids whose parents banned them from watching it. They were always Christian.
Oh yeah, this is a good one.
Oh yep. Stereotypical anime, slice them and dice them kind of thing. Chunky.
Oh, just some child dismemberment.
Oh, this one.
Here it is. Oh no, it's not the exact one.
This was a sad moment for my young self.
Well, he didn't die. He didn't die yet.
He didn't die yet because after this he blows up, and it's definitely going to show it.
Jesus.
Oh, this is what's really good is he swings him around
like a gore.
Oh,
what? They skipped it?
They don't show all of it. Yeah, I don't know why.
Oh yeah.
I didn't want to send Vince a 10-minute video though.
It's like Vampire Hunter D, all kinds of shit.
Oh yeah.
There was some good comedy to it, like some really goofy shit that would just make you laugh.
Well, Dragon Ball was more, I guess, like that than this was. This was more of your kind of serious, like, beat 'em up kind, but
I forget some of the names. What was the name of that warrior who was super fake?
I couldn't tell you.
The guy who was always in the tournaments, and he was just like this real fake. I keep forgetting his name.
Oh, Satan.
Oh yeah.
Quite a name, huh?
They called him Mr. Satan or something. Was it
Hercule? Yeah, they threw in the Hercule thing because he's like a Hercules kind of character.
But it's also Mr. Satan, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they also had Satan City.
I just remember the really bad arc where I think it was Dragon Ball GT where he gets possessed by the spirit of the dragon or something, and he's actually dangerous for a little bit.
I didn't watch GT, man. That shit's fucking sacrilege.
Oh, I didn't either, but... Oh, Raditz and your lame double Sunday attack.
Double Sunday.
Subscribe and have a nice day.
There you go.
2005 YouTube in a nutshell.
Never got into it. It was a little past that.
Oh, there's all kinds of crazy stuff. Like one of my favorites yet is this comedy page called The Tourette's Guy. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, Tourette's Guy?
The Tourette's Guy. He was a classic YouTube meme before there were real memes. Like, the one thing I can remember is him freaking out because there's this bird flying around in his house. He gets a brick and he throws it at the bird and he busts the clock while he's screaming. Oh my god.
You guys remember Pinkman? Filthy Frank?
Yes.
No.
No.
That I never got into.
Can I have the pussy, please?
Hey, boss. Hey, boss.
Hey, boss. Hey, boss. Can I have
a bit of pussy, please?
Oh, there we go. Is that true there, Vince?
Yes.
Vince, you want to look up you want to look up Pink Guy?
Oh,
you don't want to chance it?
He's demonetized for life.
He has a song that literally just goes, "Shut the fuck up. You're a fucking cunt." Fuck my dick.
Alrighty.
It's an amazing song.
Okay, we've taken up a lot of time. You guys go ahead. You guys got any comments? Panel owners?
Yeah, they're just chilling, man.
No, we're just relaxing and being entertained by you youngins.
Karen got triggered the like count one up.
Do you have anything to say, she?
Get off my fucking internet lawn.
When's the next episode of the D&D?
Haven't decided yet. You'll be the 400th to know. Soon. I got to figure out the schedule. We got a lot of shit coming up, and then we'll be doing a few other random broadcasts as well soon.
So I've got to ask, like, where are you guys on board games just in general in the community? Because, like, TJ was talking about a little bit. I don't like. I'm more into the Euro game stuff. So, like, I guess for the board game hipsters, the real stuff or whatever. But I don't know what you guys like have played board game wise. Because I like
Monopoly, Battleship, the classics.
Yeah, the classics I'll always go back to. There's just so much
Candyland.
Candyland.
Shoots and ladders.
Sorry.
There you go.
Snakes and ladders. Oh man, takes me back.
Yep. What the fuck was the original question? Oh, board game. I haven't gotten into anything recently. I haven't bought a board game in a while. I just don't have the time. I don't. If I'm going to organize players, it's going to be for Dungeons and Dragons for the most part. If I'm over someone's house, a friend of mine likes to have board game nights occasionally. I'll do that. You know, you're hanging around and you're drinking and eating and you're playing a cool board game. A lot of them.
That's what it's good for to me. Like we always used to use them as breaks in between our like D&D games, and if we really get in the mood, we'll play board games more often. And it's more for we'll pick the light games for when we want to get drunk and stupid, and then sometimes we want a hard, crunchy economic game where there's like 20 ways to win, and we're all fighting over the way.
Exhilarating.
Oh yeah. But those are the Euro games for you. Like, where am I going to place this person to get this particular thing, to get this certain point tree, to get my total points?
Euro? Do you mean like the currency, the euro?
Yeah, it can get that way sometimes, man. Like, I haven't played it yet, but Vince might know this game, Twilight Imperium.
It sounds familiar.
Apparently,
is it relatively new?
Sounds like a Tool song.
It's a little older, but it's this big like planetary economic politics game where you go around planets. It's based off of an old Doom clone board game from back in the day. It's kind of weird because there's like planets and you put your people on them and you guys like take turns going back and forth doing politics and economic and war stuff. It's one of those games where you spend weeks playing, like you leave it on the board and like the rules alone, it's like Arkham Horror where you're spending like 30 minutes to an hour. Yeah. Like I think there was a video and it said the record was an hour for an explanation of the Twilight Imperium rules. Haven't done it yet, but you know, it's got like a big alien lion person on the front cover, so you know.
Okay, cool. No, I mean, what was the last board game I played?
Because I can name the big ones off the top of my head. Catan, which you can buy at Walmart now, which is amazing. Let's see, there's Dominion, which is the big like the card one, and then God, I can't think of any of the other ones that I've got right now. I've got like a tub of like 20 games. Legendary is real good if you're into Marvel stuff, and it's kind of like a cooperative like deck building game where you know take turns like fighting a main villain and all the other ones underneath. I even got this Big Trouble in Little China version of it. It's interesting.
And I only played like Pokemon and then Yu-Gi-Oh, which is the Magic ripoff. I didn't even play Magic. That's how
I could never get into Magic, man. I don't. Yu-Gi-Oh isn't bad. I got a buddy that's getting me into that, but
dude, Yu-Gi-Oh was dope.
I played Jihad for a while, the vampire card game when it was called Jihad.
You played Jihad?
It's called what?
Jihad is a vampire card game back in the 90s.
Spelled the same?
I think so. Yeah.
Jihad. Wow.
Yeah.
He played The Struggle.
That's right.
You fucking jihadist.
But no, what about you, TJ? You were talking about a little bit, like how far have you delved
into
board games, just in general?
I loved doing them when I was a kid, but now it's really difficult with people's attention spans and just getting people together. It's like herding cats. I mean, that's kind
of
got
through puberty, right? That's what you're trying to say.
He's a funny guy. He make a joke. He's unfunny. Yeah.
Just no time for it, man.
Well, I just don't know, like if it's just my area. Like I live in a rural area and stuff like that. I've told Vince and Rob off.
Yes, that's a really good game, Drew. Love that game.
I'm gonna try and see what I can do with some buddies of mine. The problem is though, I had a core group of people, and now we're scattered across the four corners of the state. So getting together for a board game, it's like assembling the Allied army in World War II. You know, the mobilization that would have to occur.
TJ, if you got a really good computer connection, I don't, so I get to miss out on this with my online friends. But have you looked up the tabletop simulator on Steam? Because you can get all kinds of like free source versions of board games, and you can do that.
I haven't, and you can do the games online, like Stratego and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that I won't do that, but I think part of it is like, for me, it's the experience of being in a room with other people and playing games, and being able to get the reactions. And I don't know, like there's something about the real that can't be replicated.
Online, about talking shit right next to someone.
Yeah,
so much better.
My ability to turn to Aaron Clary and just call him a queer to his face. Like you can't replicate that in real life.
So I heard, TJ, that you were a bit more ruthless in person when you guys all met up. Is that true?
Yeah.
Repeat the question.
I heard that TJ. I think it was you guys that said it, but after you guys had the podcast by the sea or whatever it was called, apparently TJ, after getting on the piss, was a little bit more ruthless towards the likes of Clary. Is that true?
Yes. Vince is
Can he take it?
Yeah. Aaron can pretty much take anything you say, so that's why we give it to him.
Yeah.
He kind of I'd say, but he's kind of he probably has a sadistic streak. He likes it, but a part of it is, I think that men today, a lot of them just get so easily offended, and they're also not witty, right? So having guys who can give it and take it, but also not get pissed off or whine like a little bitch over, someone, just give him a little bit of, like Aaron, he gives me crap all the time. I think it's hilarious. Like when he does stuff on Twitter or whatever, it's funny. Like, or when we have guys on this show who give me a hard time, I think it's funny. Like, people got to stop taking themselves so seriously. But so many men I know, and maybe it's just my region, but they get so easily offended.
Well, they act like women.
It's everywhere, man. Like I've had to drop friends or 10-foot pole them because, like I remember the one dude. He just like he found out I was
in speed
to the death.
That's right.
Star Trek death music plays.
If he dies, he dies.
With commentators going, yeah.
Yeah, see?
Got him in a headlock.
Right hook, right there, see?
See? Yeah.
And TJ with a slide to the left.
Yeah, slide to the left.
Don't hit him in the crotch, see?
The bridal roll is back.
Talk like a Prohibition era gangster is not until the middle of May. So
you're gonna have a whole episode of just everyone talking like a
Hey.
No.
Hey, pregame.
Hang on. We made an official day.
But
had
pregame.
Pregame. What the fuck? What are you pregaming over there? Don't hit me with pregame.
Pregame, see? Pregame, see?
Keep your pregame.
Pregame, see? Yeah.
Keep your pregame to yourself, see?
But no, man, TJ, I get it. It's everywhere. Like, when you get these random text, like I had this dude, he found out I was into this stuff, and he gave me this long ass text about how I was misogynist and all this shit. And I'm like, what?
Dude, whenever
motherfucker, you never let them know.
Dude, no. Anytime a man uses the word misogynist describing another man, unless you're like, I'm trying to think of the situation. First of all, I wouldn't call him a misogynist if he was genuinely a misogynist. I wouldn't call him anything. I'd just be like, whatever, you do your thing. I'm like, as long as you're not committing a felony and you're not an insufferable prick with me. Like,
the bar is low.
Well, here's the thing. If you're a misogynist and you do well with women, that's the girl's problem. That's not my problem, right? My concern is...
Well, you can't be a misogynist and do well with women. That things are mutually exclusive. A misogynist he hates and wants to see women dead. That's if you look at the definition. So when someone spews out, "Oh, you're a misogynist," blah, 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 shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I was just more concerned about like him, but I'm past that stuff. Like it's
such a 180
thing.
from what I was used to, man. We grew up, we used to call each other pussy faggot. That was just a standard.
Oh yeah, like you go up in the school and you go up to the school like, "Hey, what up, faggot?"
Alec, you're in New Zealand or Australia?
New Zealand, man.
Well, I was going to say, New Zealand and Australia, those areas, the people can dish it pretty good and take it pretty well most of the time, at least.
They can, but it's definitely gotten softer. Like, I have younger siblings, and I just remember at one point I was with family and their friends came around. I was just kind of listening to them talk to each other and interact, I was like, man, these kids are so fucking nice to each other. It's really weird.
Well, it's like
we used to just fuck with each other constantly. There was no end to it.
Yeah,
and it's just refreshing, and like there's something, there's an ease and fun to that that's missing. That's just completely missing.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember the first. So like I told some of you guys, I just started playing D&D like middle of last year, so only like a few months really. And my first ever like campaign that I was playing in, I just started like picking up on all sorts of things, and I'm like realizing that the people I'm playing with are just a bunch of, really just most of them are a bunch of SJWs. Like, I had some conversations
living out their fantasies through their characters.
Well, I mean, it's like
I hate that. I've seen it, man.
Yeah, we had it where it was like 2 guys and 2 girls, and then the DM was a guy, and these chicks were just doing dumb shit like, oh, you know, my character is fucking was kidnapped by like this gang in the town, and he's like fucking held into some basement, and they're like, oh, well, we can't save him. We're gonna go to the pub and fucking dance and twerk and shit, and there's their characters. I'm like, fuck's this going on here?
It is true, man. I get you.
And then, I mean, yeah, there was other things like the DM like talked to me later, and he was like, okay, just want to make sure you're understanding like the different rules I have. And I'm like, well, what? Like, did I say something? He goes, no, it's just, well, this chick here, like one time someone said in a campaign, like, oh, you know, like after a combat situation, she said, oh, we got raped. And she got offended by that. I'm like, really? I mean, I didn't make it fit because I'm like, I want to kind of be cool with these people for the most part, but it's just like, yeah.
It makes me think of Monte Cook Games and their consent form. Ugh.
What's that?
I mean, literally, they have this thing online. Monte Cook Games puts out the Cipher system and Numenera, which I really like that stuff, but they're kind of associated with that side. And online you can get a consent form that you can check off and say like, I don't want this. I don't want to talk about sex and like our game. It's like,
oh my God.
That's why I don't go to convention. Well,
TJ sums it up.
And that's where it thrives. That's where it thrives, Vince. I imagine, like your one-time play where you can.
Yeah. There's a variety of reasons why I don't attend conventions anymore, but that's one of them. I can't. I don't have. I hate to say, I'm fucking too old for that shit. I'm here to play a game, not listen to ideologies and your problems and your baggage that you bring with you, and you want to throw it on the table and you want to be a complete fucking cunt. I don't want to deal with it. So as far as like
just me, or does it go hand in hand with uptalk?
Yeah,
a little bit. It just, large conventions for me are a waste of time. The smaller conventions, I've always wanted to go to GaryCon, the one that was formed when Gary Gygax passed, and that they had during his wake, all the friends got together. I think it was a hotel, wherever it was, and they played games to honor him. So like, oh hey, you know what? Let's do this next year and make it a thing. So now I think it's up to however long he's been dead. So it's been like maybe 7 or 8. GaryCon.
I just feel like that's really misogynistic, and I really don't like the way that they talk about these things. And
exactly, people who look for shit to be bothered about, I don't want to be around them. So
well, and you know what I do with those conventions? I mean, there may be only a few, but I like going to the conventions and having maybe like a group of us, like my friends, like along, and we just kind of keep to ourselves, and then we go out and do stuff. Like the one thing I'm really excited for is this beer tour that's happening at Gen Con. So we're not playing board games. Saturday night we're probably going to beer tour and get trashed.
What? Did you pay? Well, hang on. Did you pay for a ticket to go to Gen Con to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, why don't you just do the beer tour yourself?
Well, I mean, you interact with like big people. Like I think this year it was one of the designers it was one of the writers for one of the 5th edition books. or something like that. But essentially, it's a beer tour, and you get to hang out with some important people and certain nooks and crannies and stuff, something like that. So,
well, that may have some merit to it. Let me know how that goes. Actually,
yeah, if it doesn't get trashed.
Well, yeah, that's true. As of now, I think it's still on.
Yeah, we're just kind of sitting around waiting. I'm waiting for our big planner in the group. He's just kind of waiting. I mean, we've gotten a really good hotel because a bunch of people have, they've kind of backed down. But
yeah, actually, if you're going to go to a large convention that is like still happening, this is a good time to do it.
Right, because everybody's scabbing out.
Yeah, they give you the official Gen Con fucking face mask.
God, I think Rob.
I guarantee you'll see it.
Rob posted something, and he said something about that, didn't you, Rob?
About what?
Fuck these face masks everywhere.
Yeah, God.
Jesus Christ!
I haven't been wearing a face mask.
Oh, I haven't either. Like, if anything, I said on the thing, like, if that'll trap moisture that could possibly, trap any escaped air back into the mask, and so it.
So what's it like gaming bitches at these conventions, man? Is there anything there? Or?
Let's get to the real important shit. Where the hose at?
No,
dude, we have sad excuse for conventions.
No, you
here.
get some I've seen some videos. You get some really
crazy.
You get people that are like, I've had all these experiences, and D&D helps me through all this, and you're just like, wow, you've got more baggage than,
These are the people that use it as a crutch. Yeah.
Well, I get that some people have used it in the history of healing themselves. That's fine. Okay.
I agree.
Number one, stop fucking broadcasting it. I don't want to hear about it. Don't bring it into the fucking game. Shut the fuck up and play the fucking
Yeah.
As quick as Curtis would say, nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares.
Well, yeah, it's this whole everything
that was
goes
the one
attitude.
thing that it was like the biggest or easiest red flag for me to spot when I was traveling through like Southeast Asia. You get all these, hippie bitches, and they're all like, as soon as they start talking about their past trauma, you're just like, all right, I'll leave that one to the other guys.
Yeah, it's just one of those. Oh, go away.
Yeah,
but it's almost unhealthy too. Is the way D&D has changed? It's like you can be anything you want, so they just kind of live out these very fantasy, ridiculous lives. Like, I started to see a big difference between playing with a typical group that's just like, oh, you can be any race, any class, doesn't matter, just do whatever you want. And then I played with a group that was like, no, you got to only play like the classical races. You have to have their certain restrictions. That was actually a lot more fun because it was like,
that's
okay,
what I like to do.
Yeah, you actually have to like play out a realistic situation. Like the way this other DM told me was like, you're not seeing like, a half giant, a warforged, and a freaking tiefling walk into a pub, and the barkeep's not going to be like, welcome adventurers, and treat you like a normal person. It's like, no, there's freaking monsters in your in your tavern.
Oh my god. What the fuck is that?
that makes the game interesting. Like, there was the one tiefling in one of my groups, and what I did was I started this whole like fight. Like everybody was like suspicious because he was a half demon looking thing. They didn't know what a tiefling was in my story, so they're like, oh.
It has to be realistic. Like, you got to have a good reason why, like, you're the one weird ass looking guy in the entire region that just shows up. Like, it's not just everything goes and every race. Well, sorry, but every race is represented. It's just everything's great all the time, because that's not what the real world is like. We're not playing in an airport.
It's like Skyrim, man. They all hate each other's races.
It is fantasy to a point, and things can be a little bit more fantastical than what's going on. But
we don't like you crab people around here.
Crab people. Taste like crab, talk like people.
Yeah, and that Drew makes a good point, because that makes sense.
There you go.
Like, he looks different. And it's not like, it's not like, oh, you're perpetuating racism. It's a real world thing. You're supposed to be realistic, so it like brings you into the world to be like, oh wow, like real.
How the fuck can you take that shit into like a make believe?
Well, yeah, and then they
So
just
goofy.
Yeah, it just everything. I played in some one shot where it was like, oh, you meet these 12 statues of like these great warrior dwarfs. I'm like, oh, this is cool, and they're all women. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Do that again.
Try again.
There's a bar with something like that in Manila.
But yeah, I mean, that's why I try to keep the people that I play with kind of traditional, like to the base book, because you start getting out to Xanthar's Guide and stuff, it gets a little crazy. This one that I'm playing in right now, they're getting a little crazy, and like to me, it's just kind of like a dungeon crawl. So, like you got a Yulon T, which is like a half snake. I'm the only human, and then you've got like a dwarf and like an elf and this like weird other class. Like they're pulling out of like weird other things, and I'm just like, this is interesting. But
yeah, I end up playing like the most normal character, but then I try to explore him through like character development. I try to make him more interesting as a person rather than make him interesting by like making him make no sense.
I feel like you couldn't really get away with having a true Conan the Barbarian type character,
You could, so like, I mean,
you can do it. Yeah,
there's close types, like
so like the first
the first campaign I played as a paladin, a half elf paladin, and I was looking, and then we got to level 3, and we're like, well, we got to choose an oath. So I'm sitting here googling shit, and I find out there's this oath that's actually like cool. It's not some like pussy stuff that's just, oh, you're just gonna heal people all the time, and you're just a support group, or you're like, or you're just this vengeful, pissed off paladin character. I actually found one. It's a new one that's coming out actually in a new book. It's called Oath of Heroism, and it's basically the archetype is like a Thor or a Hercules. So a lot of he's almost like emulating certain fighter qualities as a paladin. So I played that, and I was like, this is actually fun because I get to like do different things that are really masculine in a sense in the game. Like I'm not just sitting here like, okay, we're just gonna do this, we're just gonna do that, we're gonna do all this dumb shit. Like my character was like he was like hauled off in chains, and he like broke out of them because part of the character, the classes you can actually get advantage on strength checks, which is cool as a paladin. So he's breaking out of chains. He was saving people on a ship that was capsizing, all sorts of stuff.
So you could literally stab someone in the eye with a soldering iron.
If soldering irons existed in that world.
The sentiment, rather.
Right.
A hot poker.
Exactly.
Indeed. All right, gentlemen, we're a little past the 2-hour mark, so I'm going to wind down. What the fuck happened to TJ?
He disappeared into the ether.
It's gonna be interesting.
He's pulling an Aaron Clary.
It's going to be fun. We all sign off, and he's the only one there.
One of his leaves fell. He's just reattaching it to the wall.
Listen for the toilet flush. Oh, nope, he's got it muted. Okay.
Indeed. All right, gentlemen. We'll start with you guys. Is there anything you want to plug? Your websites, your podcasts, your Twitter, whatever.
Go first,
Amos. Sorry.
Okay. No.
Amos, go.
Amos Joe on Twitter, 10K Run Podcast on YouTube. Check out Religion Zero on Sunday. Yeah.
There you go. Red.
Check me out on Twitter. I've been getting into shit posting, I guess. So, you'll find some kind of shit about somebody on there. And then I'm Light a Boulder on Instagram. You can see my daily nonsense.
Cool. Alec?
Well, when you said, is there anything you want to plug? I was very tempted to say your mum, but I think that would be in bad taste. I'm just kidding. Anyway, I have Twitter. I'm not very active on there. I kind of just use it to talk shit with the fine gentleman here and others. But you can find me at A Checkerfield.
Cool. TJ.
TJMartinell.com.
Fantastic. Rob.
RobSays.net.
There you go. On masculinegeek.com. So with that, we bid you all adieu. We'll probably be doing some rogue broadcasts this weekend and over the next couple of days, so stay tuned. Until then, keep the fires burning, enjoy your evenings, and we'll talk to you soon.
Adios.